Hey guys, Doubt here, and today is an episode of Is It OP? And before we start this, I want to clarify with this is that people throw around the term OP a lot, and what I'm hoping to do in this series is point out the ones that are considered OP or actually are, say, easy mode, and tell you how to counter them and how to make use of them if you're playing as them. And so this one is the Yak-7B, and you could also consider the Yak-1 possibly for being rank 1. You can be able to research that as soon as you start up here. If you're new to War Thunder, you can start researching that right away. And this one I think is a little bit better because instead of the 7.7s, no 7.62s, you have the 12.7s. And so you also get the APIT, and I always go with APIT, very good for 50 cows, and I have tracers for that, just so I can see where my shells are going, because when the counters might start off here is that you don't have that many rounds to work with. Yeah, 120 for the main, 20 and 400 for the 50 cows. So when you're playing as Russia, you have to learn to conserve ammo. You only use the large cannon if you need it. And so this is in terms of the burst mast, the 1 second burst, it's behind some of the American ones like the P400 and such, but the difference is that most aircraft that have the higher burst mass, they have the other guns out on the wings here, so they're not as accurate as, say, the Russian one having all of them on the nose. So we're going to show you a replay, how this thing does. Alright, so here we are in the replay. I skipped past the part in the beginning. There was an SM-79 that our team was gunning down, and I just put a few shots on him and got an assist. But when this plane doesn't have as good a turn rate as, say, down there the HE-112, so it's always good in any scenario when you have worse turn rate, you make sure that you're going to be able to outrun them. So I have my altitude on him. It's going after our BB-1, but another 112 there. So I'm going to focus on him. Now, the 112 right below me hasn't noticed me yet, but, well, he has noticed me. The one who's popping smoke hasn't. So first I'm going to kill this guy, maybe save our BB-1. Watching down. And he overshot the BB-1. I'm going to turn. He goes the other way. I turn just enough, cut his tail off and get that kill. So I go back into a climb. Looks like the BB-1 is safe. Keeping an eye. I can see the 110 is stalling out. We're on there, and at this point I'm not going to attack the Wolf 200 because he's a bomber and he's already almost dead. So I'm going to go on the 110's tail. The guy's shooting him right now, so I'm going to pull off a little bit. And I turn back around. Give some shots with the 12.7s. And as always with the Russians, you have to wait until you know you're going to hit them. Like right here. But I kill them with the 50s. So second plane down. The 200 just asking to be killed at this point. So I come in, set him on fire, then put some 20s into him. Make sure he dies. I-153 tries to steal the kill, but it's too late. Up to 3 kills now. And I'm gonna fast forward because the 110 hit my engine, so I had to return to base. But anyway, just in general, the Yaks seem to be very forgiving. You have good ammunition. What am I saying? Even though you don't have good ammunition storage and such, you can't. You have to make your shots count, is what I'm trying to say. But in terms of the handling and speed, it's pretty good. LEG-3 crash. Lag-3 crashed. SM-79's taking off. But yeah. I first started playing Russians on Realistic Battle. They're the first nation I went with to play, so it tends to be whenever I do Realistic Battle, I'm a little conservative on using ammo. Whereas with the Americans, when I started playing them with the 50 cows, started using the cannons more often. So there's 3 guys left. They're all in a group, and the only real threat is the 109 that this Lag-3 is gonna kill himself when he takes out. He's right there. He's gonna bank up. And they both die. At least I think. I think he crashes or something. But anyway, 2 Ju-88s coming in. So set one of his engines on fire, or at least damage it. Keep moving around to avoid his gunners. And this is probably one of the best tactics you can use against bombers, where you're attacking from the belly, because most of the time they can't really aim down there. So I dive back down. Gunners can't really hit me. Go back up. And he has a fuel fire, so he'll keep burning. I stay directly under this Ju-88. Right about here. Go up. Only says engine. Smoke his engine there, but this could have been an ace. But low, bad on my aim here. So weaknesses and strengths of this plane. As with the Yak-1, it has good armament, though it's better with the 7B, while sacrificing turn rate. And thus, with this one, you'll find yourself wanting to, or basically, to get more kills, you go up higher, dive down on your enemies, and then you can go back up if they try to turn fight, which is, of course, what this plane doesn't do as good, with a 22-second compared to an 18-second with the other one. So to counter it, either try and stay at its height or get above it, so that way it doesn't get to have the upper hand when it comes to maneuverability. And you know, he has a very good armament. All it knows is going to go right towards you, so don't let him get any shots lined up. And what else? Just need to check 500, 550. Yeah, and speed-wise, you can most likely outrun him if it has to come to that. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know any other planes you find OP, or any thoughts on the Yak-7B or Yak-1. But leave a like if you enjoyed this. Remember to subscribe.